What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. This time we're having a look at level 80 to level 99 of the brand new PKA against Brook, or the Celebration Wano Luffy. The clip that you're seeing here is the exact same thing that I showed off in the yesterday's video. I did mention that that team was capable of beating level 80 onwards, and this is kind of just proof that this team can go ahead and get it done. So there are a little bit of changes between level 60 and level 80. So there's going to be a barrier on the stage 3 versus Chopper, where you have to hit 2 goods in order to break it. Pretty annoying to get around. And then there's also the resilience, of course. But when you reach stage 4, the attack down is slightly increased, but there's also special bind that you have to deal with this time. And this is why I'm using the Uta as the friend captain, which some people may have questioned in yesterday's video. So Uta is really powerful with her turn progress activated effect, getting a delayed conditional and an attack boost every single turn, but also at the start of every turn, not only do you get those buffs, but it also removes 6 turns of special bind, which is so good, as it means that we don't have to worry about the special bind at all on stage 4. And then of course we have some key supports on the crew that can enable us to get even more damage against some of these mini boss stages, of course. And because of the attack boost that is activated via the turn progress activated effect from Legend Uta, we don't have to worry about the special interrupter that occurs on the final stage, where if you activate an attack boost, your beneficial effects are removed. So that helps us a lot in that case there. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with this clip, and we'll pick things up once we get to the 2 other teams that I have for you guys in today's video. Moving on to the second team, we're going to be using Momo as a friend captain for the first time, and we're going to be using the combo with Kinemon Denjiro. And I did see a couple of people were suggesting this one, and this is a really good idea, because for those of you who don't know, I mean, it's been a long time since Kinemon Denjiro have actually been used in content, especially as a captain, but their captain ability is very similar to Luffy Zoro, where if you attack with type advantage, it changes the character slot into Wano, and they also change recovery slots into Wano, so you actually can get a lot of these naturally occurring Wano slots. The Luffy Uta character on the crew, their special changes slots into recovery, which if you're using Kinemon Denjiro captain, then that will actually change them into Wano for us. But because we're generating so many of these Wano slots, it means that when we get given block slots on stage 3, we kind of don't have to worry about it, so that actually gives us a lot of damage. And the other thing is, because there is a good barrier, we can just hit 2 goods and then break the barrier and just go ahead and kill. But also another thing is that because we are generating these Wano slots, it means that when we reach the final stage where the enemy inputs a Wano slot barrier, where you have to hit him with 2 Wano slots in order to break it, we don't even have to worry about it, because we can just generate Wano slots for us. But we actually do have the Odin on the team that can remove the barrier, but realistically speaking, you actually don't really need to worry about it all that much. Then another thing about the Momo as the friend captain is that he says that if we have 4 or more slashes on the crew, we get 3 turns of chain boundary, and that chain boundary from Momo is pretty significant, because there's chain attack down that lasts from stage 4 into stage 5. And his special ability does also remove the increased defense on stage 4 as well, giving us quite a bit of additional damage to bypass that. It just means we don't have to worry about bringing dedicated characters to remove the defense, because Momo can do that for us. Now, Momo's super type isn't really the greatest for this particular team, but it's enough, because the super type will give him, will give the entire crew rather, a 1.25 times attack and orb boosting effect. So ideally, you will go ahead and use that last, just to get an additional 25% bonus attack, because you're not allowed to activate an attack boost on the final stage. The way that you're supposed to get around it with the batch is to utilize Legend Hiyori with the Momo, so that you can actually get the attack boost procced from that clock buff that Hiyori can actually give to the crew. Roger's nice as well, because he can get around all of the bind here, and then of course we've got Brook to remove the damage threshold. So this gives a pretty good amount of damage and works pretty well, and if you can find enough Momos, this is going to be a very, very good team to not only get decent drops, but also get through it very comfortably. Moving on to the final team of the video, which is going to be utilizing the brand new Shanks that came out during the Film Red celebration for the 9.5 anniversary. And the really cool thing about Shanks, as we know, is that every time you use a special of a Cerebral or a Free Spirit character, it will give him -3 cooldown. So we can abuse that so that we can use Shanks a little earlier, and then we can use him again on the final stage. However, I actually learned something new in One Piece Treasure Cruise by utilizing this team, is that when you activate the switch effect of Rayleigh Gaban, they give you a 1.2 attack boost, but it allows you to override it, so it's an overrideable attack boost. What I just found out is that if you activate an attack boost to overwrite Rayleigh Gaban's attack boost, even if it's a 1-turn attack boost or like a 5-turn attack boost, for example, the override attack boost will only make it last for 1 turn. So ideally, what you'd want to do is use the switch effect of Rayleigh Gaban and then use the special ability of Luffy on stage 4. Because Luffy's a 3-turn attack boost, but because of all the special bind and all the nasty stuff that occurs, when you actually use the special ability of Luffy after the Rayleigh Gaban switch, even though I thought it was going to last for 3 turns, it actually only lasts for 1 turn. So that's a little bit of a shame. So this team doesn't work as I really wanted it to. And due to the special bind, that's why we're using Rayleigh Gaban, because their captain ability removes the attack down, and then their special ability removes the special bind. What you could do is have attack down removing supports, and then have a different special bind removing captain. That is something that you could do, which would allow you to use Luffy to get a 3-turn attack buff, and then you could, get the most out of it that way. But I wanted to utilize Uta, of course, and Luffy, so that I could have the Shanks super class effect, so that we can get around the block slots on stage 3. Either way, the team does still work, but it's a little bit more finicky and isn't really, the greatest team example out there, but it does beat level 80. I'm not too sure once you get to level 99 what the HP value of the final boss is going to be, because this felt kind of tight in terms of damage. You could have some supports to give you some additional damage as well. But either way, that's going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video. Luffy か。